Hey everybody, welcome to Whiskey Cinema. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Jake Gyllenhaal. Let's start the show. Hey everybody, welcome to Whiskey Cinema. I'm your host, Dano. With me as always is Brandon Rich. How are you doing, buddy?
So good, man. So rocking my new, it's not a sweater, I guess, but Star Wars. So I'm rocking it.
What it's just, what do you mean it's not a sweater?
I was told it's not a sweater, so, Disney sells Disney jerseys. I'd stand up to show you the back, but I won't because I don't want to.
Cool story.
But yeah, my wife bought me a Disney jersey, and it's the Star Wars one.
Dude, there you go. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's No's moon. Awesome, man. So you're at Disneyland? How cool is that?
No, my wife was.
Oh.
She bought me.
How
you doing?
I'm doing good. It's a big rodeo week here, which is fun. You go off line dances, drink too much, and hopefully don't get any trouble. But so far, so good.
Son, how's your diet going?
I don't know. What do you mean?
Oh, I thought you were trying to shrink those titties.
Okay, come on, man. I mean, yes.
You and me both.
Funny thing happened at rodeo yesterday. Cop walked up to me, and I talked to her for a little bit, and then she left. And my brother walked up to me, and he's just like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Why are you starting stuff with her?" I go, "I'm not starting anything." I go, "She walked up to me." He's like, "Oh, what does she want?" I go, "I was flirting with her earlier. She just wanted to talk." He's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Fuck, man, you're gonna get arrested before the sun sets?" I go, "No."
If you got a cop, that's a good job, because you're gonna need someone there to help you legally.
That's right. Make friends with bouncers, cops, rodeo clowns, everyone that can save your life.
That's right. And Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal, who we're doing our episode about today. This is a fan favorite of me and Brandon Rich's. Man, this guy, talk about a versatile actor. The ups and downs of his career comes from a movie family. His dad's a director. His mom's a producer. His sister, Maggie Gyllenhaal, great actress.
She's an actress.
I like her a lot. She was in that, what was it called? The Deuce, the HBO series with James Franco. And I thought that she did, by far, was the best actress on it.
No, acting next to James Franco, that ain't hard.
But yeah, I mean, this guy comes from Hollywood royalty. He stayed humble. And the best, the worst, the underrated, overrated, a role we want to see him in. Let's get into some Jake Gyllenhaal.
So as a joke, I was going to put some Jergens behind me and some Kleenexes, But during my prep for Jake Gyllenhaal, I used it all. So
we're all out.
I watched Brokeback Mountain 8 times today.
Whoa, are we gonna jump right into overrated? Okay, for me.
Yeah, we can jump if that's your overrated. Let's do it.
So this is my overrated movie. I thought that Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal were good in this, but I think it was so overhyped for being the first gay love story in Hollywood that I thought the movie was just okay. But I also might have been jaded by it because they're like, "How come you don't want to see it? Why don't you want to watch it?" I go, first of all, I would watch a normal rom-com, let alone one with two dudes. There's no Scarlett Johansson in there? Come on, no Emma Stone?
No, it's a serious drama.
It's true.
What did it get? 87% on Flitzer. It was nominated for a bunch of awards. I don't know if it won any. It was nominated for Sharesies. It's a good movie. I wouldn't put it at 87, but I mean, a little slow at times. I wanted more action, They cut away at the wrong times. I'm like, no.
Yeah, here we go. What? What do you mean the next day? Good.
How sore is he though, right? Just riding off.
I wish I knew how to quit you. Yeah, that's my overrated. I mean, I don't think it's bad. I like Heath Ledger a lot. This was the movie that he did right before. I think that he did The Dark Knight, which is very funny and perfect. Because everyone was like, "Oh my God, you're gonna get this guy to play Joker? Are you kidding me?" And
I don't remember which movie came first.
I'm not sure either.
Because I wanted to say that it came after. You said first. I was like, fuck, I don't know. I second guessed it, and I wasn't smart enough to do my research.
I'll double check. But yeah, that is my overrated. I think he's still good in it, but gosh, I mean, I couldn't. You had to hear about it air day, all time. So I was like,
It was a huge deal when it came out because obviously the gay love story.
That's right.
I like both these guys. I think they both did terrific. I thought the story was a little slow at times. I did really enjoy it though. I won't argue with you about it being overrated. I can see it. For me, I wouldn't rate it an 87, but it's still a good movie. Still a really good movie. But it's got some good actors other than Heath Ledger and my boy. Michelle Williams and Anne Hathaway play the love interests of both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like both of them, especially Anne Hathaway.
Jake Gyllenhaal's commitment to his characters is something that I always think is amazing. I'm always excited to see movies he has. He has one called The Guilty today that's out on Netflix, I believe, or maybe it's next Friday.
I think it's next Friday. I think I might have did this one for that movie, and I thought it came out this Friday. But just got excited for new Jake Gyllenhaal.
You talk about an actor when he has a project, you want to see it. At the top of my list might be Jake Gyllenhaal.
So you watched the new Spirit movie?
Spirit?
Yeah, you know that animated movie about a horse?
Oh, I have seen that. I have nieces that love horses.
Yeah, he's in it.
Okay.
Just saying. You must have loved it. He really dedicated himself to that role.
That's, man, what did he play? An antelope or something? Or did he play the horse?
I didn't watch it.
Okay. Tumbleweed, voiced by...
My overrated is Source Code.
Ooh, Source Code.
It got 92%.
Damn.
While I do like the movie, it's not. And I'd drop it at least 20%.
Yeah.
I mean, it deserves to be fresh or whatever on Flickster, but not 92.
Yeah, that's high.
I think, was it Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt?
Yeah.
Same premise. I prefer that one over Source Code. It's rated, I think that one's in the 70s.
Yeah, and I thought that was I mean, they're both essentially time loop movies, which we talked about on that episode. Yeah. But I'm with you 100%. I love the monsters in that were cool and different, and you have Bill Paxton playing a soldier again, like he did in Aliens, and he's fighting aliens. I mean, that movie's just fun.
Yeah, I would flop those percentages there, flip flop them. I would put Edge of Tomorrow above Source Code. Source Code is just kind of a boring movie with a low payoff. It's not that great. You're not wowed at the end, but you're not like disappointed. It's a disappointing movie. It's just not a great movie.
I'm not mad at that at all. That's a really high rating for it. But I mean, his list of movies has been going on since he's 16. He's been in the biz for a long time. My underrated is the first movie I ever saw with him in it, and I had to watch it at school, called October Sky, about him being essentially it's not rocket science. Well, he's literally doing rocket science in high school. And his relationship with his dad in Virginia, goddamn, I watched some of it today. So good. And at 16, this guy is killing it. So, I mean, if you haven't seen October Sky, I would recommend it. I mean, it's a drama, but it's really well done.
I too watched it in school, and for some reason that's the movie I think I remember the most from school is October Sky.
Yeah,
it's a really good movie. I actually listened to him talk about it today. His dad, I have it written down because I always going to remember that name. Chris Cooper.
Yeah,
he helped him out become more of a bit of a serious actor in that movie. I don't know, they were yelling at each other. And Jake Gyllenhaal said he was really excited. I get to yell in a movie. I could just raise my voice and yell at something. So he was doing it, and Chris Cooper was like, I get what you're doing, but you need to listen to me. So a few takes later, he just kept saying, listen to me. And then finally, I guess it clicked in Jake Gyllenhaal's head. And I guess he killed it. And we have Chris Cooper to thank for Jake Gyllenhaal's success.
Chris Cooper is a guy that nobody really knows the name of, but once you see his face, you go like, oh yeah, he was like the horse whisperer guy in Seabiscuit. And he was one of the generals in Saving Private Ryan. I mean, he's like a great guy to have on the side.
I love you went Seabiscuit first.
Well, I have a tie-in for that.
Very uncharacteristic of you to go a family movie over Saving Private Ryan.
Well, the reason I do that, I do a little sneaky sneak. While Tobey Maguire was filming Seabiscuit, he hurt his back, and their replacement for the next Spider-Man, which is the Doc Ock one, was Jake Gyllenhaal. He was going training for it, getting ready for the role, and then Tobey Maguire's back healed, and he played the part. But they were gonna have Jake Gyllenhaal play Spider-Man, and he missed out on it. He's missed out on a couple really good roles that he could have had.
He's also nailed a couple really good roles that he did have.
Yep. So, wow. He was going to play Frodo once too. He's going to be Jake Sully and Avatar, and I mean, just a lot of scheduling conflicts and near misses.
Would have loved to see him in Avatar over Sam Worthington. That dude hadn't done shit other than Avatar. Yeah. Every movie he was in after that, dog shit.
You know what I liked him in? There was the one on the Unabomber that was on Netflix with Paul Bettany that I liked a lot. I thought that was a good one.
Because at that point, I was tired of Sam Worthington.
Clash of the Titans.
Movies about James Cameron. Let's get over it.
What is your underrated?
My underrated. So I was going to argue with yours because it got 91%. That's always arguing if I name a high-rated movie.
That's fair. You can beat me up on it. That's fair.
But then I looked at my underrated. It was like, just can't beat them up because mine's end of watch.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of the same aspect. It's a really good movie. It's Michael Pena, Anna Kendrick, Frank Grillo, David Harbour. You know, everybody's favorite sheriff.
That's right.
Guardian now.
Mm-hmm.
Yet nobody's really seen this movie as much as I think people should. It bums me out. It's a good movie. It's about cops, Jake Gyllenhaal and his partner Michael Pena. Great chemistry on the screen.
Yeah,
they're real friends in the movie, like some partnership and everything. Just fucking doing cop shit, pretty much. Drug bust.
And I was gonna say that to train for this movie too, for 5 months he rode with cops, and you know. He opted at the end. They said, hey, do you want to get tased or pepper sprayed to really get a thing? And Jake Gyllenhaal, in his own words, said, you know, me being me, I said, of course, because he dives into roles. Like, he's a method actor. Like, he gets really in there. So he got tased, and they're like, well, why'd you get tased? He's like, well, pepper spray lasts like 2 hours. And he's like, getting tased lasts like 20 seconds. But he's like, you really got the mentality that, of course, you're out there fighting for your life or death. But I think that's one of my favorite cop movies because it seems so real. There's a thing with the truck they're following. Hey, that's a legal ornament that could blind drivers behind. It was a CD that was spinning. But they just needed a reason to pull over the gangster-looking guy in the truck. And I go, being a cop's one of the hardest jobs in the world. And I go, I know they do fucking loopholes like that all the time.
Hey, sometimes you gotta. Not everybody's blinkers out at 2 a.m. so you can catch a well-known serial killer.
El Chapo.
It's funny you call him a method actor. I listened to him today in an interview, and he talked about method acting. He's like, I don't consider myself a method actor. I just consider myself someone who uses his imagination, is really good at it. I was like, all right, I like that answer.
Maybe it's true. Maybe he's just super well researched. I know that he studied Eastern philosophy in college before he dropped out to become an actor. And he says he takes Buddhism to all of the roles he does to think, hey, what would this guy do differently? And I don't believe in stage direction because I'm going to make the character my own kind of deal. But yeah, he's awesome. I mean, the end of Watch is very good. And the ending, if you have not seen it, is really good ending.
Fantastic. That's a really good movie. I was blown away the first time I watched that movie. I
Yeah.
ended up rewatching like a week later because I couldn't get it off my mind. And it's very rare that happens. It's a gritty movie, and I like it. I do have a slash.
Okay, let's go. What you got?
I think this one might be on your list somewhere else.
I think I know where you're going. Go ahead.
Nightcrawler?
Yeah, Nightcrawler. I strongly thought about doing it on here. Go ahead, and I'm with you.
Only 76. This might be my favorite Jake Gyllenhaal acting performance. He fucking kills it in this. The rest of the story is really good. I think some of the acting, like, the reason I don't put it as my best is because, first of all, you'll know why. My best is my best, and then it's just him in this movie pretty much carrying it. And he fucking kills it as that crazed, kind of going overboard, not kind of, he definitely goes overboard. Photographer for like crime scenes and sends them in the news. I fucking love him in this movie.
To get ready for this part 2, he says, so this guy is completely cerebral. This guy is absolutely just in your head, outsmarting people, cunning. And he said the way that he perceived this guy was when he has a goal, that's what he's thinking on. He's not thinking about eating. He's like, so this guy would be skinnier. She's like, so I got to lose weight. So he ran 15 miles a day and ate nothing but kale salads and lost 30 pounds, I think. It was 30. And he plays his part so well. I had it as a slash for my best because I think that performance in itself made that character amazing. Like, I think about that character sometimes when I see other stuff. I'm like, God, that guy was just scary how easily he could throw someone away that's not helping him anymore. And when he's negotiating,
I love it. It's
good.
just a movie. You watch a guy slowly slip into madness. You watch him just slowly lose his marbles in his head throughout the movie until just he's dragging bodies to get the perfect photo.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic movie. I wanted to put it my best, but I had something beat it out as my slash because I do have a slash.
Okay. I had it as my best, but I have another one next to it. But yeah, I really like Nightcrawler. I mean, I'm glad you brought that up as an underrated. I didn't know it was at 70%. That's so low to me.
It's 76 compared to Brokeback Mountain, which we both agree should be lower, 87. Donnie Darko, 86. Zodiac, 89. October Sky. There's movies on here, not all of them. There's movies on there that I would prefer Nightcrawler over a long shot, and they're rated. It's one of his movies.
I was going to say Zodiac is a great movie. Robert Downey Jr. is in this. Very good movie. Very creepy. Kind of imagine Nightcrawler if he had a twin that was good. That's kind of the version of that journalist who's not even really a journalist in the Zodiac. And Donnie Darko I like it, but you only need to watch it once. That movie, even the director said, I don't really understand the ending.
It was kind of his breakout role, though, I think.
Well,
part of that movie.
I mean, he played Billy Crystal's son in City Slickers. Let's not forget his best role.
I thought we were going somewhere else. I don't have it on my list. I don't know if you do either, so I'm not going to say it yet.
Bubble Boy?
Bubble Boy.
You want $500?
There's still a part of me that sees Bubble Boy in every Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the dude that rode around in a goddamn bubble for a whole fucking movie, and I absolutely love him. It's a great movie. I don't care. I fucking love that movie as a kid.
Dude, it is such a, I think it's 2000s, probably early 2000s, but it's a 90s feel for sure. There's a lot of like racial jokes. A dude in a Bubble Boy costume having to cross the country to go to a girl is such a 90s plot, that is. And they lie to him that he can actually walk out of his suit because the parents were just like, dude, I don't know about that movie, man. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Come on.
Dude, there's
so bad. It is so good, though. It's a guilty pleasure.
To be honest, if it was on right now, though, I'd be kind of stoked. I would watch it in a second. I'd be like, oh my God, I forgot they did this.
You know what other movie I thought of the other day? Same kind of thing. Back in the day, maybe people liked it, but nobody ever talks about it now, but I still really like it and think about it. Idle Hands. Did you ever watch that movie?
I loved Idle Hands. Idle Hands is 20-year-old Jessica Alba in bra and panties. At the peak of hotness, she was great. And the premise is ridiculously fun and stupid.
He cuts off his hand that's possessed. So...
And it starts killing people. It like sharpens his fingers in pencil. Seth Green's in it.
Green. I can't remember the other guy's name.
Yeah, he's the guy.
The other lawyer in Daredevil, the TV show.
Right, and from Mighty Ducks.
As soon as I saw him, I'm like, no way. Is that the dude with his head chopped off? And eats a bean burrito and you watch the beans pour out his throat.
Oh my God. Dude, I saw a guy that did a cosplay of the Seth Green zombie and he had the beer bottle sticking out of his head. It was awesome. Idle Hands. I love Idle Hands. That's so fun you brought that up. That's another one I'll watch in a second. The zombie reason that they're zombies, they're like, yeah, there's like a white light and all these hot chicks were there. They're like, walk towards the light, walk towards the light. Like, fuck that. It's too far. We turned around.
Yeah, I love that. It falls in the same category, I think, as Bobo. I would prefer Idle Hands, to be honest. But they're unforgotten, shitty movies from the late 90s, early 2000s that I
absolutely
love and remember way too much for having not watched any of them for 20 years.
I don't even know how you start some of those movies, to be fair. How do you... The premise, like, they just must have been making money. No problem. All those movies must have been making money. They're like, this premise is...
when you're high all the time, why not bring your hand to life?
I don't know.
Yeah, I love Idle Hands. I'm going to watch that this Halloween.
Fuck yeah. I'm down. I'm down.
And we're going to do a Halloween episode just so I can fucking talk about that movie.
Yeah, Bubble Boy, love Bubble Boy, but those are one of those ones that I don't think they'll stand the test of time. I gotta be honest.
I mean, Bubble Boy won't. I'm scared to watch that one again. I didn't rewatch it for the episode.
Yeah.
Like I said, I will watch Idle Hands. I will think it's horrible, and I will enjoy the fuck out of it.
That's right.
So pumped for that episode.
Checking out some of his other stuff. Okay, cool. No, I don't want to get into too much. I'm afraid we're going to jump into some of our other ones because I'm not sure where you're going. But let's take a quick break brought to you by our sponsor, The Buzz, and we'll be right back talking about our favorite, our least favorite, and a role we wish to see Jake Gyllenhaal in. That's right, everybody. We're talking about Jake Gyllenhaal, or as I learned from a talk show appearance that he had, Gyllenhaal, because he's Swedish. So apparently everybody says his name wrong, and he's just like, it's fine. Only
Was that Graham Norton?
I think so.
So I've been watching a lot of British television lately. I've been watching a lot of Graham Norton. Like when we do an actor, I go and Graham Norton their interviews because I feel like his talk show gets people to relax. They're literally drinking alcohol, those who drink, and having a good time, I feel like. And the other one's Taskmaster. It's got nothing to do with this. I just fucking love that show.
Oh, I know that one where it's the big white guy who sits in the chair and he makes him do goofy stuff.
Yeah, like eat as much of a watermelon as you can. Or one I watched today was
right.
They're mini golfing with eggs, and you had to get the egg to the hole in as few shots as possible without breaking the egg. It is crazy how people think, because the dude cut open a tennis ball, put the egg in there, and golf with the tennis ball.
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking genius. I've been watching a lot of British television.
I'm not mad. I watch a lot of that stuff.
I'm not caught up on like What If or anything, but here I am just binging the shit out of Taskmaster.
Yeah, what the?
I don't know, it popped up one day on my Facebook, and I fucking loved it. And then I just was like, all right. So I followed them, and now they just always popping up with clips, or I'm going to YouTube.
Yeah, they're funny.
I'm watching full episodes. I told my wife I want to go to Europe just so I can watch TV. And drink beer, obviously.
Yeah, or tea. You got to drink tea with your beer. They call it tea.
Crumpets.
And crumpets.
And get some fish and chips.
Speaking of your What If episode, I would be remiss if I did not bring up Jake Gyllenhaal in Spider-Man Homecoming. He missed his chance to play Spider-Man, but then he got to play him as Mysterio in Spider-Man, and you're giving me a look. Is this on your list of worst or best?
It's my best.
It's your best? Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, get into it, man. I like it.
Because I have a soft spot for Spider-Man. My favorite superhero.
Okay.
And I love him in this movie. I love this movie. Maybe I'm also putting it first because I'm super fucking pumped for the new one coming out.
Yeah.
Who isn't, though? I think Andrew Garfield came out and said, like, people need to lower their expectations.
Absolutely.
Everybody's gearing up for, like, the greatest cinematic masterpiece ever. I'm over here just like, I don't care. Throw some Spider-Man on the screen and I'm happy. But he plays Mysterio, not Rey Mysterio, the wrestler, but from the comic book.
What was it, 615? Like,
this is 619.
619.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what he said. It's lag. Mysterio, it's funny that he plays him. Mysterio is kind of a joke character, but I've always liked their joke characters. And they had both of the ones.
Because he's in a bubble again.
Oh, that's great. He can't get out of the bubble.
Circle.
Speaking of Bubble Boy, Mysterio. I've always liked Mysterio. Essentially, he's an illusionist, right?
Yep.
But calls him Fishbowl Head and stuff. His costume's crazy. In the movie, they made this guy awesome. And it was funny because in the trailer, they're like, Mysterio and Spider-Man teaming up. Mysterio's helping them. People that didn't know Spider-Man had no idea the twist was coming. People who have watched Spider-Man or read the comics, you know, that's like saying Lex Luthor's here to help Superman. You're like, nope, never the case. I love his costume in that.
I did read that comic. I knew it was coming. I was excited they casted Jake Gyllenhaal in my favorite superhero movie. My favorite superhero / movie.
Gotcha.
It's not my favorite superhero movie. Cleared the air on that one.
Jake Gyllenhaal. What's that?
I said I was just super fucking happy because I love Jake Gyllenhaal. He's always been my favorite. So, you know, Marvel did me right. It did me right.
Did you right? His on-screen, what would you call it? Chemistry with Tom Holland is real. Jake Gyllenhaal is a very nice guy. For his birthdays and stuff, he goes to like soup kitchens, and he says it's kind of hard for him to bond with people in Hollywood. You never know what's real or fake. But he said I really enjoy Tom Holland as a person, as an actor, as everything working with him. He's like, I'd love to work with him more. He's a great person in and out. And you really could tell in that movie that when they're buddies and like giving advice and hanging out, it's like they're smiling every scene. That they get to, there's a strong friendship there. That, not saying he's not a good actor and he can fake it, but it seemed really good on there. So
yeah.
Plus, I love. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying I believe it. They both seem like I would be friends with him as well.
I don't know if they'd.
I would be friends with them. I don't know if they'd be friends with me.
That's fair.
I'm too cool.
That's funny. Whoa. Sorry, it's my agent.
Oh, I thought it was a shot o'clock. But I guess not.
Oh, must be my TikTok's doing pretty good.
Damn right.
Yeah, I love him in that movie. I recently just watched with my brother. He hadn't seen any of the Spider-Mans, so I got to watch it with him and see the twist. And also a cool part in the movie that I didn't see the first time, when Spider-Man's walking around. Jake Gyllenhaal's in the background a lot. Like, they don't say it, but he's way off in the background. He's keeping an eye on him, like stalking Spider-Man, which was like, it's so cool. Like, I had to look up the scenes to find them, but there's little Easter eggs like that in there. It's pretty neat.
He can come stalk me any day, I tell you what.
Brokeback Podcast.
Oh, for a minute there, they took out the cowboy stuff. I was like, is this about Danny and I? They just made us look more manly. I get it.
I have cowboy hats, man. Howdy.
I just threw mine away the other day. I'm like, when the fuck am I ever going to wear this? I didn't think, hey, I have a chance to reenact Brokeback Mountain. I mean, they casted it perfectly, right? I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal, Heath Ledger. I think there's some resemblance there.
Oh, you do you? I would think it might be better if it was Danny DeVito and Hacksaw Jim Duggan myself, but I like where your head's at.
I would love if Danny DeVito played me. You're saying that's a bad thing, but I'm over here like, please.
You think Danny DeVito out of the two of us would play you?
I'm just saying, out of those, like, you're saying Danny DeVito playing anybody is a bad thing. I'm like, bro, have you met that dude? Because I haven't.
That's fair. Yeah, so we're talking about Far Away From Home. I love that it's your favorite movie, though. I had no idea. I'm surprised.
Yeah, Slash, because I feel like that was if you know me, it's an obvious one. We'll talk about the Slash later.
Okay. Well, you want to get into some worst right now?
Yeah, because I think it might be the same for us.
Well, I have a slash for worst, and I never do that.
Okay, well, Prince of Persia.
Yep, let's go. Okay, that's one.
Yeah, I tried to rewatch this movie. My wife said, I thought you hated this movie. I was like, yeah, I'm learning again that I still do.
Yeah, pretty rough.
And I never was a huge fan of the video games. I just thought they were all right.
Right, me too.
I wasn't like super pumped for the movie, but I was like, oh, fuck, I know that video game.
Yeah.
I had to play the video game. That movie sucked.
It's a neat idea. It's one that you wish could work, but at the time, there was no good video game movies. There hadn't been a one, and this one included, despite having Jake Gyllenhaal and Ben Kingsley in it, and some good parts, some good ideas, just executed the corny kind of the feel was it? Just very Scorpion King 2-ish.
Yeah, it's like a cheap knockoff of like the Mummy. Like you get Mummy vibes from it.
Right. Yes.
Mummy Scorpion King. I don't know which one came first, but a dude in the desert with a girl. They hate each other. Blah, 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 blah. If you haven't seen Prince of Persia, first of all, I envy you.
Yep.
But don't. It's not a good movie. We've sat here and praised thy Lord, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Thy Lord.
And here we are talking about how you should not watch Prince of Persia. So that should say how bad this movie really is.
It's a rough one. And I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal even said when someone said, hey, what's a movie that you regret making? And he kind of laughed and he said, me regret a movie making? He goes, I love making movies. He's like, it was probably the dumbest question I've ever been asked. He's all, I get to make movies for a living. He's like, it's pretty great always. And I was like, what a great answer.
But he was thinking Prince of Persia.
Well, I mean, I have a couple of his that I don't care for, which is far and few between because this guy is really amazing. But did you ever happen to see a movie called Brothers with him and Tobey Maguire?
I did. I actually watched that this week for the first time.
Okay. What'd you think?
First of all, I'm not a big Tobey Maguire fan. He's great as Peter Parker because that's who he comes off as in real life.
You'll get your rent when you fix my goddamn door.
He's like a colonel now, and he's trying to be stern at one point. He's like, I told you to do that, Sergeant. I'm like, bro, you were not tough. This calm the fuck down. I could not believe him as an army guy at all. But one part I did love is the very beginning. Tobey Maguire goes and picks up his brother from prison to go to the dinner table. They're all eating dinner, his family. And Tobey Maguire's wife, played by Natalie Portman.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Gyllenhaal's nice. He says, "This is a very delicious meal." And his dad goes, "Compared to what?" So, compared to other food, Dad. He's like, "Compared to prison food? Huh?" Shit. I'm like, holy fuck, this dude's going out.
Like, that Evil Knievel couldn't have made that leap, Dad. I'm just saying I like the mashed potatoes.
I know. It's just like, hey, you did a really good job. I appreciate you cooking. What the fuck you say?
What do you mean by that?
It made me laugh. I thought the movie itself was all right. It got 64%. I put it lower. I put it in the 50s.
So there's a couple of movies that he has that I don't know if they messed up or editing messed up or marketing did. The one that I was most excited about, and probably I judge unfairly because I love boxing movies, is Southpaw. Southpaw's with Rachel McAdams, and in the trailer, they show the twist that his wife dies in the trailer. And so you're like, oh, I bet it happens pretty early in the film. Nope. And you're like, why are they doing this buildup if they revealed it already? So I just watched it. It was a poorly done movie. Jake Gyllenhaal is looking fresh to death in it, though. He said he was doing 3,000 sit-ups a day, working out 3 hours a day. Whew.
When I said I used all that lotion, yeah.
Me too, Bubble Boy.
That's right. It's gonna make the same fucking joke.
Yeah, that was just for me though. But I love good boxing movies. I thought the boxing was fine. The story was weird, and then it's like it just bummed me out because I was like, oh, I can't believe somebody messed up in this. I shouldn't know what I already know.
Well, we all know you love Forrest Whitaker. I think you said he's your favorite actor.
He's so good. He deserves all the Oscars.
And then 50 Cent, I don't know if there's a movie he's in that I'm like, God, that was such a good movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a song he's done that I'm like, God, that's such a good song.
Oh, I didn't even check. Yo, what's up? We got Rob checking in. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
He's great. He's watching us. I watched Southpaw when it first came out. I don't remember Southpaw.
Yeah.
I mean,
just remember doing you a favor.
I remember liking it a little bit. It was hyped as shit when I was a kid because people were into fighting. You know, oh, let's fucking fight. Yeah. Oh. And I think a lot of fighting movies came out then. But, you know, I remember none of them.
I remember none of them. Well, I mean, there's a couple that I really like. Yeah, but this one, like you said, was
fighting.
No, don't. I don't need to. Rachel McAdams, I really like. Jake Gyllenhaal, I both like.
She's in the greatest movie of all time. Of course, I love her.
Rachel McAdams?
Wedding Crashers.
Okay, I guess she was. That's true. I thought you were gonna go Mean Girls.
Hey, it's not a bad follow-up.
I wanted to do a cheers to our worst movies match and Prince of Persia. I mean, low expectations, and it still didn't help. Cheers. Thanks, everybody, for watching at home. And then we can get to our best and a role we'd like to see Mr. Gyllenhaal in, or Gyllenhaal, as he's called, I guess.
Oh, you want to do that first? You want to do the ideal role or whatever?
Lay it on me, man. I'm ready. What's your ideal role that you would like to see Jake Gyllenhaal get in there with?
So after watching End of Watch and Nightcrawler, my two underrateds,
yep,
I thought, man, this dude could play kind of a creepy, smart villain.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be a great Riddler.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Yeah.
I feel like if you take his Nightcrawler at the end there and just put some puns and riddles on him.
Absolutely.
Put a question mark on his head like Jim Carrey. I think he would be a great Batman villain. And I don't know if they have a Riddler in the new Batman movie. I know Penguin's in it.
They do. It's played by Paul Dano. And
that ain't a bad choice, though. That ain't a bad choice.
By the reviews, everyone's saying, I guess there's a twist in it, the people that have already seen it. they're not talking about, and they say Paul Dano did a great job as the Riddler. Is what
Yeah,
the
Paul Dano. When we do an underrated actor, I think he'll be on both our lists.
It's great. Yeah, big fan. Great last name.
I think he'd kill it at that because I think he can do a kind of psychotic, I'm losing my mind kind of guy really well, and we watched that in Nightcrawler. But he can also be intense. End of Watch, not Prince of Persia.
It's true.
So yeah, I think that would be a good role for him.
I thought about this a while, so I have one that everybody will understand, and then one I kind of have to explain probably. But Moon Knight's coming out soon, and Oscar Isaac's playing him. Moon Knight is essentially a man with schizophrenia who thinks that he's Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Captain America in the same head, and he has gadgets. He's crazy, and he's like Batman, and gets powers from the moon. Like, he's an odd character, but he's a fan favorite. He's an Egyptian god powered creature or person.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's a weird one. I like Oscar Isaac a lot, and I thought, man, I thought he played that good part. So I go, well, why would I think that? And I go, well, he plays crazy well. Somebody said he always sounds like the happiest sad person you ever seen when he's talking. So to me, I was like, well, then my ideal role for him would be a role that I usually don't like. I'd like to see him play like a One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or a mentally insane person like Nightcrawler.
It's not the exact same thing.
I think it would be great to see this guy really cut loose, get his own movie like he did with Nightcrawler, and kind of just see where he goes. I had a bunch of thoughts. I mean, to be honest, the movie I want to see him in is every next movie. I'm a big Jake Gyllenhaal fan. But even like the movie Terminal with Tom Hanks, which is like a solo character-driven foreign person, him doing accents and, different mannerisms, I think would be great. But yeah, so for me, essentially what I want to see him in is I want him to run it and be different. I want him to go too far with his acting. I want him to really just be crazy with the next thing he does.
I just want to see him in my bed when I go to bed tonight.
I'll get you a cardboard cutout, buddy. I got this one.
Doing that in a day. It would have 2 holes, but
I'll paint the backside. It's just the suit. You can flip it over. Or actually, you can lay down and place it on top of you. Probably is more correct.
Keep me warm like you did Heath.
I like your choice for Riddler. It's kind of the same idea I was going with.
Yeah, I want a crazy kind of lunatic man.
Yeah, you know. There's some actors you really like because they fit their roles really well. I watched School of Rock today. I just had in the background. Awesome movie. Jack Black being Jack Black is amazing in that. I wouldn't want to see Jack Black play the Riddler, even though you would get my ticket money.
Yeah. I mean, I watched him play a high school girl for 2 hours. I mean, I wasn't disappointed.
That's right. Riddle me this, Batman. What are you
going to do?
Yeah. Without further ado, for Jake Gyllenhaal, which, by the way, if there's a movie that we have not mentioned that you are a fan of, go ahead and drop it in there. But let's get into our best, which I had a slash because one of my best was Nightcrawler, which if you have not seen, I think is on Netflix still.
I think so.
Really like it. But my best, which was tough, I went down a couple and looked at them, is one I just watched, which is Prisoners for the Hugh Jackman movie.
That's it. That's my slash.
Oh, jeez.
So my shot, I know you dedicated yours to something. Oh, us hating Prince of Persia. That's
right.
I would have thrown it the opposite way. Us loving Prisoners.
I mean, yeah. This is a movie that you watched recently, so it's probably better in your brain than me. I mean, talk a little bit about your favorite movie then.
So Wedding Crashers.
No.
Oh, so Shrek 2.
No, I got Prisoners. Talking
about Prisoners. Hugh Jackman, Paul Dano, Maria Bello, Terrence Howard, Viola Davis, David Dashmulchin. God, I hate his last name because I don't know if I say it right.
It's tough.
Hugh Jackman, Terrence Howard. Their daughters get kidnapped. Jake Gyllenhaal's the cop trying to find him. He does what he can to do it, but he does it within the law. Hugh Jackman this to me, outside of Logan, is his best acting performance. The dude gets fucking intense, and I absolutely love it. He thinks someone does know where his daughter is. He ain't stopping at the law. But you see Jake Gyllenhaal slowly trying to reel him back in. He's like, I know you're falling down a slippery slope, bro. I get it. You lost your daughter. He's like, come on, I'm doing my best. And he is. You can tell the dude cares. He plays just a calm, collected cop who fucking gets mad every now and then. But he played it so perfectly. And those two, God, they killed it together.
Good tie-in.
Wasn't in Spider-Man, obviously. This is probably my number one movie.
It's a good tie-in too with Paul Dano, who is playing the Riddler, who you said was a good part. In this movie, he plays like a mentally challenged guy who I think got bit by a snake when he was a kid or something. So now he's like a little slow, but he knows where the girls are and he's not talking. So Hugh Jackman makes a shower that he puts in this abandoned house that only does boiling hot water or freezing cold water, and he leaves it on for hours at a time to torture this guy into talking. Jake Gyllenhaal's trying to just find out the truth, really, but he notices Hugh Jackman slipping. And they have this great dynamic of Jake Gyllenhaal wanting to find the truth, wanting to save the kids, and also realizing, what is this guy up to? I know he's doing something he shouldn't be doing. I've got to find it out too. So all around, though, I mean, I really like Prisoners. And I almost put that as my underrated, but I realized, nope, this is my favorite. I really like Jake Gyllenhaal in this.
I had it there too. It had underrated right next to it. I was like, I think ultimately, because I got Spider-Man there, I don't want 3 slashes.
Yeah,
I got to get rid of Nightcrawler or Prisoners. I was like, it's got to be Nightcrawler. It's got to be. Then I saw the rating. I was like, oh yeah, I got a better argument for that one. Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. They do perfect with each other. Viola Davis is great in this. She's very limited though. This is still when she's, because it's not as new as you think. I think it was like 2011.
Right.
That's 10 years old. I didn't realize it was so.
That's true.
Old. But even before he puts him in the shower, he's just beating the shit out of him. Makes me feel a little bad because the dude is special. He's not all there. And Hugh Jackman is just wailing away. I'm like, bro, you were fucking Wolverine. It's unbelievable. You can kill a dude in one punch.
It does a great line of balancing of, I can't believe this guy's doing this, but I don't think I'd be able to do this, but I hope that somebody I know would be able to do this. If my kid was taken, if someone I loved was kidnapped, which, by the way, don't steal Hugh Jackman's loved ones. It seems like in a lot of his movies lately, even the one that he just had that came out, someone he loves goes missing. And if you do that, the Wolverine's claws are coming out. He's going to come get you. So
he's going to handcuff you to a bathroom sink and beat the shit out of you.
And if Viola Davis unties that really scared special needs guy, he's going to grab a piece of tile, cut her, and then try to crawl out the window in 3 seconds.
Yeah, I love Paul Dano in this. I absolutely love it. And he didn't do much at all. But I remember him in this, and that's perfect because he had very few lines in this movie. He just sat there and got the shit kicked out of him.
There's a scene where he's leaving the jail. Jake Gyllenhaal has grilled him for as long as they legally can, and they can't crack this guy.
48 hours.
48 hours.
Actually, they let him out early. Jake Gyllenhaal's pissed.
And as he's leaving, Hugh Jackman says, "Where are they?" Crashes his truck into the parking lot, charges towards, "You're letting him go," and runs up to him. He goes, "Where are they?" And Paul Dano leans in. He goes, "I didn't hurt them. They were fine." And never told the cops he knew where they were or even know what the kids' names are. And he leans and says that. Hugh Jackman goes, "What'd you say? What?" And he leans forward to kill him. Everyone's like, "Wow, Hugh Jackman's crazy." He's like, "I know what I heard." But even if you watch the movie, if you don't have subtitles on, you're like, "Wait, I think you can't really tell." It's like perfect volume for someone getting into like a cheap shot. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a great scene. I won't say the ending because I do feel like this movie is underrated. I hadn't watched it until a week or two ago.
Yeah, for the Hugh Jackman episode.
I think it's on Hulu. It's free somewhere. It's free somewhere. I mean, if you know what you're doing, it's free. Every movie's free, but for me, I stay with the usual, the Netflix, the Hulu's, the HBO. God, there's so many. Peacock, Paramount.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Ted Lasso cleaned up on the Emmys too. I gotta watch that show now.
That show yet. Have you seen it?
I've seen clips. I was at a friend's house and I watched like an episode and a half, and I was like, wow, the writing's really good in this.
That show looked pretty good to me, and then I saw the hype, and I finally watched like a good clip. I was like, all right, I might want to watch this. WandaVision did pretty good too.
Yeah, that was surprising. How many awards did that win?
I think 4.
Wow, good for them.
I know. I can't remember her name. She won Best Supporting Actress.
Catherine Hahn.
Yeah, she won Best Supporting Actress. She's blowing up right now too. She just signed on for a new movie. I don't remember what it's called, and then she's in the Knives Out sequel as well.
Dude, awesome. Love it.
I know her from Step Brothers.
Great part. She's one of these people that they're like, oh, she's funny. She's not a good dramatic actress, but I think she's really good.
Yeah, she's really good. She's the Jake Gyllenhaal of the females.
Whoa, that's high praise.
That is high praise. I don't know if I'd go that far. I don't know if she's good looking. Jesus, look at that chiseled face. There is a movie I want to talk about. Well, there's a couple, but it's Jarhead.
Ooh, Jarhead. Okay.
To me, it's an average war movie. But the end, this is a weird review. It made me like it more because it's just beautiful to look at. So what it is these people, these Marines, I believe, they're in the desert of Afghanistan protecting the oil because we're greedy Americans.
Okay.
And shit, war starts breaking out. So they're traveling through the desert and you just see smoke and fire and it's raining oil. And there is a scene where you just see all this and darkness.
Right.
But at the same time you see light. And I'm just like, I don't know why, but this is beautiful to look at.
And isn't that the same scene where a horse runs by and it's on fire?
Yeah. Not on fire. I can't remember who it is. I think it's Jake Gyllenhaal. He's kind of storming off because one of his buddies kept a dead body. Weird.
Yes. It was with Jamie Foxx and he's sitting there.
Yeah, it's Cheddar Bob. And
no. Oh, that's the guy that kept the body? Okay.
Yeah, that's the guy
I thought it was someone else.
But he takes the body, goes to bury it, and there's a horse randomly. Yeah. It's a very good scene. I really like it. The movie itself, average. It's an average war movie. There's parts I really like. I think Jake Gyllenhaal has some really good scenes in there. But overall, Jamie Foxx is in it as well.
I really liked how they talked about soldiers. How because every movie like glamorizes being in the military, and this one was like, well, you know what you do a lot of? Waiting and essentially being scared something will happen to the point of you're so bored. That one guy goes off and shoots a camel in the head because he's just so fucking bored. Like he's just like, I'll go kill something, dude. I've been here for 4 months and I haven't done anything. Like they say, go off, masturbate. You're bored again, masturbate some more. And like the handbook.
And another one I'm going to bring up is the Sisters Brothers.
Okay, I did not see it. I didn't hear great things.
This was going to be my overrated because it got 87%.
Whoa. Okay, wow.
I had source code there. I could have still put it. I slashed everything else. Why not? It's got Phoenix.
And it's got John C. Reilly. John C. Reilly.
They're the Sisters Brothers. It's got Riz Ahmed and Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay. Essentially, you're following 2 brothers, the Sisters Brothers. Follow Jake Gyllenhaal and Riz Ahmed. And that's a lot of the movie.
Great review. I mean, Should people
That's
see it or
what
no?
it is. They're cowboys, Red Dead Redemption style, just
Okay.
traveling through the woods. And then that's what Jake Gyllenhaal and Riz Ahmed are doing too. They're just traveling from town to town, going to the gold farm or gold rush in San Francisco. I think they're in fucking Florida, so they're traveling the whole U.S. Yeah.
I have kind of a weird. What was John C. Reilly's last good movie?
Guardians.
That's a while ago, bro. That might be 10
Guardians
years ago.
2.
He wasn't in it. So 2014's Guardians of the Galaxy. Then he was in Kong Skull Island, which he was like one of the only good parts in that movie.
There you go.
Gosh, I'm not seeing it. Sister Brothers, The Lobster. Oh my gosh, Moonbase 8, which was pretty unwatchable. I tried to watch that twice. I gave up on it.
So he's practically an Adam Sandler friend, meaning he's nothing without Will Ferrell.
I don't know. I didn't realize though. He's one of my favorite actors, but man, he hasn't been anything good in 9 years.
Oh man, maybe. So I debated it. I have a buddy. I asked him one day, who do you think is an overrated actor? This was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
He said John C. Reilly. And I was like, fucking really? And then it kind of clicked. I was like, I guess outside of Will Ferrell movies, what's he done?
And also, he was in Sherlock Holmes at the Will Ferrell movie, and that movie was terrible.
I will never watch that movie.
Yeah.
I tried to watch it.
Another Jake Gyllenhaal one I wanted to bring up. Perfect tie-in to Venom, which is coming out soon, which is the movie called Life. Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds are in this movie. They became really good friends after this. Have you seen the movie?
I don't think I have. I thought I watched it in theaters, but I feel like I'd remember it because it's not that old, so I don't think I have.
This movie is a good movie. I mean, it's a good space movie, but it's a lot like the symbiote. So Sony did this and said, hey, is this supposed to be the symbiote that they find in space that lands back on Earth? And they said, we will neither confirm nor deny that is actually Venom. And you're like, whoa, that's kind of cool. But
they knew what they were doing. They're like, I don't know. Is it? Ratings. They're getting that money.
I would recommend this movie, though. I mean, I think it's probably middle of the pack for him. Gyllenhaal doesn't do a fantastic job in this because it's kind of like a thriller, pop-out scare kind of movie. But it's still a good movie. And there's parts where you kind of sympathize with the creature that's killing everybody, which is they just start doing experiments on it. And it doesn't really start hurting anybody until they do experiments. But once it gets a taste for blood, that thing is brutal.
Those right humans push everything to the edge. And then we're like, why did he do that? I don't know. Maybe it's because you were sticking fucking needles in his eyes.
Would you kill something if you put needles in your eyes? Like, yeah, well, I mean, it's a counterpuncher.
That's kind of the thing. A lot of monster movies, it's like, oh, he's a monster. Oh my God, he kills people. It's like, how did he become that monster? I mean, yeah, we tried to fucking murder him just for, having a scar on his face. I didn't like it. He was kind of not pleasant on the eyes. I thought murdering would be great. Now he's killing everybody.
I just thought I'd kill that oak jaw because it looked like a giant meat hippopotamus that might be able to talk.
It gives magic meat. Does it though? It's dead. Doesn't the magic die with it? I know when I play D&D and my wizard dies, I don't just get to fucking be, hey, eat me so I can still be alive.
Well, if something does eat a wizard, everyone knows, then it can now cast fireballs. That's a fact.
Well, it is the most important spell in the book.
It is for helping your team. Is there other movies of Jake Gyllenhaal's you wanted to bring up that we forgot? I know he's got a long list.
Nope. And we brought up Oakjaw right there. That's about all I want to talk about it. I don't hate the movie. I don't love the movie. It's a weird movie. Actually, it is a weird movie. He's really interesting in this because he's a very weird character. He's not crazy weird. He's nerdy weird. He's that nerdy nature guy. And I kind of like, right when you first see him, he's walking up the stairs like Poe did and Kung Fu Panda. He's out of breath.
Yeah.
Give me water, give me water. And then he just nerds out on an animal, and he's wearing the short shorts. He's wearing the hat that I actually own. Because why? What did I? Shut the fuck up. He's a fun character, but the movie, it's a weird movie, and it's actually got Paul Dano in it.
These guys might be better buddies than we think, man. Gotta look into this.
And Steven Yeun.
Yep.
Yeun.
It's also got the Ancient One in there. Also a very interesting character actress. Who I'm embarrassed. I can't remember her name. I don't know why right now. Thank you. Tilda's why. That's not a name.
It's a weird name.
Oh, you know what? Matilda. I bet her name's Matilda, and they call herself Tilda. Way better change.
With Danny DeVito.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to Jake Gyllenhaal. Rob, we appreciate your comments and sticking around. We had a lot of fun on this episode. Jake Gyllenhaal has a movie called The Guilty, which is out on Netflix in a week.
October 1st.
Yeah. Which is the same day Venom's out, too, if there's a nice little tie-in to life. We appreciate you guys for sticking around. You are awesome, fantastic. And give him your sign off. Not that I want you to. All right. God.
Get the Lambo car, house in the hills with the stars. Told you I'd raise the bar.